Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to Thursday live here at Oregon Weight and Wellness and with Rachelle
And the
Mathios.
What's for Dinner podcast.
Woohoo! Yes. Sorry, we missed last week. I was in Texas, Rachel, visiting my siblings and my mother.
Mhm.
And I always come back inspired when I when I get together with my siblings. I have a brother who helps me, with ideas about the website and resource pages
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So we got that all going, which is awesome. And then I
Yep.
spent time with my other brother and sister-in-law, and she is creative extraordinaire. I mean, she quilts, she sews, she's embroiders. It's the woman is amazing,
The
and I
whole,
always come back
yeah.
inspired. And my latest favorite is something that my brother and sister-in-law introduced me to, but they got inspired by my other sister Beth, who lives in Texas. This is my new favorite. It's Trader Joe's seltzer water,
Mhm.
and it has lemon and ginger juice in it. So no calories, no natural flavors. It's lemon juice and ginger juice. And it is so refreshing. I can't tell you. I
It
can't tell
sounds
you.
delicious.
It is just so good.
Are there other flavors?
I didn't even look. I didn't even look. I tasted this when I was sold. I was like, you can't get better than this.
Yeah. It sounds so good, so refreshing. Pour that over ice, pop a straw in that, sit in the sun, the beautiful weather. Oh, look at that. You got it.
I got it. I
So
got it
good.
going on. Yeah, that's good. So yeah,
Mm.
always inspired. I bought some yoga blocks because my sister took me to her yoga class, and I've talked about yoga blocks, or I've heard about them. I've seen people use
Mhm.
them. I bought some. So, and then my brother uses a weighted jump rope.
Oh, yes. I've heard
I,
of these.
so it should be coming today. I'm gonna. I'm telling you, I get inspired.
I'm hearing it.
Inspired. Yeah.
And that's such an incredible example of the environment, the people we spend our time with,
Mhm.
that's who we become. So you're spending time with people who are creative, inspiring, motivated for better health and well-being,
Mhm.
open-minded,
Mhm.
growth-minded people.
Yeah.
You come
Yeah.
back feeling inspired,
Yeah.
motivated, and
Yeah.
changing in an improving way your
Yeah.
health and your environment. Had
Yeah.
you been spending that time with people who were the opposite of those things,
Mhm.
likely you would be coming back feeling differently and
Yes.
having
Yeah.
picked up some bad habits even,
Right. Yeah.
you
Maybe.
know?
Yes. And my other sister Amy was there, and I've adopted her morning. I call it gruel, but it's flaxseed, chia, hemp, pumpkin, a little organic kefir in there. I mean, I was like, what are you doing there? And
Love it. Love it. I love how ideas spread and we pick up these little
Mhm.
things. But again, it's surrounding ourselves with people who are like-minded and, to
Yeah,
grow from them.
yeah, that's right. All right,
Yeah.
enough of that. I could go on and on, but yeah. So we started April with this discussion we started talking about a little bit about spirituality, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
and
the pillar of connection.
the
We were
pillar of
talking about.
connection. Thank you. Yes. All
Yeah.
right. So give us a little summary, and then tell us where we're moving today.
Yeah. Yeah. So we picked well, I can't remember why, how we got on
I
this, but
think
we
it's
were like,
because
well,
April,
because it's April. Yeah. And
spring,
and
new life. Yeah.
yeah, connection. And what we were doing is really breaking down the lifestyle medicine pillar of connection is
Mhm.
not just about connection to ourselves, or our communities, our families, our friends. That's that line this way, the horizontal line. But that really, the lifestyle medicine, they highlight there is also the spiritual. There is also this
Mhm.
connection going this way,
Yeah.
and we broke it down that it has to do with spirituality, religion,
Mhm.
meaning, and purpose.
Yeah.
This higher meaning, this higher purpose. And so we've been talking about those things: spirituality, religion, meaning, and purpose.
Yeah.
Last
Let
time we
me.
were together, we talked about hedonia and eudaimonia.
Ooh.
Okay, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say, let's break it down. What's the difference between religion and spirituality?
Yeah. So this week we wanted to talk about religion and spirituality specifically. Next week we'll talk about meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
So spirituality and religion, what are they, and why are they so important to humanity? Why are they so important to our health and well-being that they're part of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine's pillars of health? That this is a tenet of well-being. When you look at wellness wheels, spirituality is part of a wellness wheel. So I looked it up, I Googled, and I kind of combined some different ways to think about it, because they are different. They are not the same thing. One can have spirituality without religion.
Right.
One can have religion without spirituality.
True.
And one, best case scenario, we have both.
Yeah.
We have both. So spirituality is defined as a personal and individualized journey of exploring meaning, purpose, truth, and connection to something larger than oneself. It's you're seeking this larger purpose. Right. It's more about an internal exploration and a personal experience, what you personally are experiencing. It can be defined as the search for the sacred and divine, and kind of part of that desire to explore what is the meaning of life, right? What am I here for? What is going on? Now, religion is more of a structured system of beliefs. So this is where people of a similar religious mindset are practicing specific beliefs and practices, rituals, community, connection, care, right? Support within a religious community is where people get the care and support. That someone has cancer or having a baby, let's start the food train.
Yeah.
Happen in a religious community. So religion is emphasizing more of the external practices and adhering to the doctrine of spirituality. So if we're seeking spirituality, oftentimes we have to put into practice like prayer or meditation. These are the religious practices of spirituality. Hopefully that helps people settle out a little bit.
Yeah. And I can have some of those spiritual practices, for example, meditation or solitude, without necessarily ascribing to a specific.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah, there can be lots of practices that aren't put in a box of one particular religion, so to speak.
Yeah. And I guess it, we're, as far as our, what's coming up for a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people, is Passover and the celebration of Easter, which I guess historically was, celebrated in a pagan way, but the church kind of adopted that time of year to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. And so anyway, it's so interesting because of how things kind of fall together, and then also how historically things change over time, and so and how different belief systems, and anyway it's all very interesting to me. But so maybe you can share a little bit about, if you don't mind, just maybe how you personally, how that has helped you in your health journey.
Yeah, spirituality and religion. So I do practice religion and spirituality. I practice both. And I feel when I am more in touch with my belief system, with my spirituality and my faith practices. So when my religious practices are habitual and consistent, I feel more in line and connected with my spirituality and with my belief system. And from that place, I get a sense of balance And next week we'll talk about meaning and purpose, but it brings a sense of meaning and purpose to my life.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean we have it figured out. We
Right.
will never figure it out. It doesn't mean that I don't grapple with concepts and faith and, what do I believe?
Mhm.
But believing that there's something bigger than me, that there's a bigger purpose for my existence on this earth, puts me into a place of, like, I got a job to do.
Mhm.
It gives me meaning. It gives me like, okay, I gotta wake up every day and do something important. And I've
Mhm.
got my little niche of the world and my little, skill sets
Mhm.
that I can impact the world for a better
Mhm.
place. I think most people, if they're not psychopaths or sociopaths, most people would like to make the world a better place, right?
Right.
They would like to think that they're doing something good for their family or for
Right.
their friends or for their
Yes.
community. Most
Right.
people have some form of
Right.
value around that, whether or not they're religious, whether
Right.
or not they're spiritual.
Yeah.
But that drives a sense of well-being. If you feel like you have a meaning and a purpose, and especially as it's connected to your faith values, it brings a calm and a trust
Mm.
in the process, a
Mhm.
trust in the reason we're here.
Mhm.
So there's less instance of depression, less
Mhm.
less sense of anxiety,
Right.
um, or having ways to better cope with anxiety and
Mhm.
depression.
Right. Yeah, I love that. I love that you said that when you have your practices, the rhythms, which are your religious practices,
Mhm.
and you're doing them so that for a better connection spiritually, I think is what you said, something like that.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, and not it's not and I think I do agree that there is more peace. There's, and I think
Mhm.
when a person has a religious practice or a spirituality, and especially when they connect, there is more resilience, maybe.
Mhm.
There's more, yeah, as you said, ability to cope when circumstances beyond their control
Yes.
um, come their way, which inevitably does in everybody's life. I don't think you get through this life without it.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, it can be a great place for that
Mhm.
to help, with those the daily chaos of
Mhm.
life. Yeah,
Yeah. And this is not just anecdotal, my experience or your experience. This is researched. We've got,
exactly. Thank you for
yeah,
saying that. Yeah.
we've got just
Mhm.
Google spirituality, and you're going to see a bunch of papers come up from the National Institute of Health. You're going to see PubMed. You're going to see research on,
Right.
um, just like when they say, oh, if you exercise, you have a
Mhm.
20% lower risk of all cause mortality.
Mhm.
The same is
Yeah.
true of
That's so
spirituality
true.
and religion.
Yeah, exactly. And it just helps the body heal. It
True.
really helps the body heal. And yes, this is documented. It is studied. It is
Mhm.
measured.
Mhm.
Right. And
Across
so,
cultures,
it,
across the globe, right? We see this.
right.
So
Yeah.
there's a high value to it. And again, I circle back. This is why it's one of the main pillars
Mhm.
of lifestyle medicine. It's
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
got some backing against it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. That's cool. That's so cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, so asking, seeking, knocking, if somebody hasn't
Mhm.
kind of thought about that aspect of their health,
Mhm.
I'm wondering, are there some resources or places that we could steer somebody who would be interested in this? Yeah.
Yeah, as a coach, it's one of the questions on my intake assessment form. It's one of the pillars we discuss. Hey, how is that this category? How is this wedge of your wellness wheel? How
Yeah.
is this wedge going? And what change is needed? And
Mhm.
um, sometimes people have a strong sense of it and it's going well. They have, or maybe it's not going as well. Some say, wow, I don't really have any kind of sense of spirituality. And I think the first place to start is understanding what your purpose and your meaning is.
Mhm.
And then that takes you kind of a step back. We've got to kind
Mhm.
of, well, what are does the person understand their strengths,
Mm.
their values,
Mhm.
their character? So it
Mhm.
kind of, we kind of have to back up a little bit,
Right, right,
to,
right.
to seek and look and
Yeah,
ask some questions. What's important to you?
right,
What
right.
are you looking for?
Yeah.
Um, So that can come in a lot of different
Right.
forms, but I
Yeah.
think a big question is always what's your past history
Mm-hmm.
with religion or spirituality? Is it a good one? Is it a not so good one?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a good one, what from that experience, what would you like to do again? What would you like to
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Yeah. Keep from
come back
that.
to?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
If it was a poor experience or a
Mm-hmm.
harmful or
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
hurtful,
Yes.
then what are you curious about
Mm-hmm.
it? What could be good from
Mm-hmm.
starting something new or changing it or
Mm-hmm.
pulling the good that you valued from it? Typically, people will say that there was so much they valued, and then there was this piece that was hurtful. And it's like, well,
Right.
what was valuable? Can we find that
Yes.
thread?
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
so good. That's such a good question. Yeah. Because I mean, for real, people have had experiences that were hurtful. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so we don't want to brush that or sweep that under the
No.
rug. We want to acknowledge that for sure.
Right. Yeah.
I think this is a great place to kind of wrap up and maybe hold. Maybe let's
Yeah.
hold this and maybe explore this a little bit more because you mentioned meaning and purpose.
Mhm.
And I think that deserves a little bit expansion on. And
Yeah.
so maybe
Yeah.
we can hold that, table that for
Yeah.
our next
Let's
talk.
talk more about that. And I have some resources for next week where we can talk about. Um, Oftentimes, the next question is, how do I figure
Mm,
out my
mhm.
purpose?
Right.
No one comes with a manual. If you don't
Right.
know what your meaning or purpose is, how do you discover it? And that's can be a blockage. So
Right.
I've got some resources to help people figure that out.
Awesome. That's so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Rachel, tell us what's for dinner. I don't have a great transition.
Yeah, what's for dinner?
Okay.
What is for dinner is I've got a base salad going that I'm working off all week, so I've got that going. But I've been craving beans. I don't know what's going on, but I think I've been looking at Easter recipes with all these different, like, I don't know, bean dishes or something. And
Hmm.
so I'm going to make some sort of a bean stew. It's not really bean stew weather, but I don't care. So
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
You can do you, girl.
I can eat what I want.
It's your party. You can eat what you want to.
That's right. And also, though it's sunny, it is kind of cold.
It
Like
is
the
chilly.
wind,
It's chilly.
the
I
wind
got a
is
little. We'll check it out.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with I want some beans. I want some sort of
Mm-hmm.
like a hearty bean stew or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So how about you?
Yeah. Well, my husband's already been in the kitchen and I went in there and to see what he was. Yeah. So he's got some grass fed beef and carrots and zucchini and mushroom and onion in a meatloaf.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're doing that.
Yum.
And then I also have, man, I've been going with that recipe. Rachel, I've been roasting tofu.
It's so good.
I
This
just can't
recipe
get
is
enough of that. I mean, I can't get enough of that. So, and of course, I got that base salad going. That
Mhm.
base salad is so pretty.
It's so pretty. Every time it makes me happy.
Mm, mm,
It's a no-brainer. And the more you practice it, it just becomes so quick to throw it together.
oh my God.
Like this week I didn't want to shave a bunch of cabbage, so I bought the pre-shredded cabbage. So
Yeah,
what?
right.
Right? Like
Yeah,
just make it happen, make it go quick.
right.
Buy shredded carrots if you have to, toss it in
Right.
a big bowl,
Right.
and then man, you can just eat off that all week. Love
So
it.
good. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you for this.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
yeah. And I have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
Mhm.
And are you spending some time with your fam
We
band?
are. We're gonna all go to church together. My son's girlfriend, they're getting a little bit more serious, so she's gonna come visit our church, which will be really fun. And
Mhm.
then two families smashed together Thanksgiving, and my dad is actually going to join us, so it'll
Oh,
be
nice.
a fun hodgepodge. Yeah.
That's awesome. Very
How
good.
about
All
you?
right. Golly. TBD. TBD.
Happening on Sunday. I don't know.
Well,
I hear
we'll
you.
either be here or in Portland or in Bend. One of the
Oh,
three.
gotcha.
Yeah.
3 options. Perfect.
It's just we're going with the flow. We're going as the spirit leads.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
it. All right. Everybody have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.